Ambition. Setting a goal and making a plan to achieve that goal. This, in and of itself, is not a bad thing. In fact, setting out goals and a path to achieve them is usually something to be admired. In our gospel this Sunday, we see the brothers James and John setting a goal for themselves, to sit, one at the right hand and one at the left hand of Jesus in the kingdom of heaven. And they have already taken steps to achieve this goal. They have been loyal followers of Jesus for a couple of years already. They now ask him to grant their request before it is promised to someone else. And they probably already realize that if their request is granted, more would be asked of them. And in fact, Jesus did ask them, "Can you drink the cup that I must drink, or be baptized with the baptism which I must be baptized?" Meaning that they would have to suffer persecution and martyrdom just as Jesus would. And the two brothers earnestly replied that they would, because this is what they must do in order to accomplish their goal of being seated at the side of Jesus in heaven. And it is here that Jesus lets them know such an honor is not given to the first one who requests it, but rather God the Father will give that honor to the one he deems most deserving. But Jesus does not discourage these two apostles from taking the steps required to achieve their desired goal. Because taking those steps, faithfully serving Jesus and willingly suffering persecution and death for his cause, will be of immeasurable benefit for their spiritual welfare. And that is what Jesus is emphasizing in the gospel. Ambition is only good when it is done for the right purpose. If it is done for personal recognition and glory, then it is meaningless. But if it is done not for personal reasons, but for the glory of God, then it is a good thing. And if this ambition is for the glory of God, then there is absolutely no need for any personal recognition of what we have done. Throughout the history of the church, there have been countless stories of ambitious saints who set a worthwhile goal for themselves and then went about accomplishing it. One of the more recent examples of this is Mother Teresa of Calcutta. She set out a goal for herself of establishing a network to help the poor of India. And she accomplished this goal through the creation of a religious order dedicated to that purpose. But she never sought out any personal recognition for these acts. In fact, when it was decided to award her the Nobel Prize, she at first refused the honor. After all, she was doing this work for the glory of God, not for some personal award. And she was only persuaded to accept the award because then she could use the prize money on projects for the poor. She even canceled the awards banquet, asking that the money instead be given to the poor. This is what Jesus is telling the apostles and us today, that we can only really gain honor by selflessly sacrificing our own needs and desires in order to serve our fellow human beings in need. And the reward for such a sacrifice will not be one of this world, but rather it will be for a far greater reward in the next life.